What's good, everybody? It's Zen. I hope I can get my flash drive soon, so for everyone that's new here, they can have an understanding of where this all started and how a lot of my language and speaking patterns and what I'm really getting at and what I'm explaining, because it will, while you'll get a great deal out of individual lectures and audios that I do, the complete system, the complete understanding of what these symbols are, these letters, these words, and the larger esoteric and occult perspective of what I'm speaking about will be a little easier to understand if you have a little more background. But for this talk alone, we're going to talk about, because we're right around the holidays, the holy days, we're going to talk about clocks and cloaks and diamonds and spirits and demons and angels and distillation and see if we can't come to a conclusion of what the great revealing is, what the Mayan prophecy, what the Bible, and all of these other playbooks. And I've spoke about playbooks before, and what black magic is, what white magic is, what all of these different systems of revealing the spirit to be. But I will start with the most basic concept, and it's that this revelation, and it just means to be able to see more clearly this bringing heaven to earth and bringing the demons up here. What's happened and what 2020 is its perfect vision. 2020 is perfect vision, and I think that comes sooner for most, but it will take until 2020 for everyone to have perfect vision of absolutely what's going on. Although anybody can make that happen right now. You can change your diet and change your deities and change the things that you consume to clean up your system. But what we're talking about here is the obviousness of people's character, the absolute reflection of what someone is, how well they're cut, how well they're shaped, how well their mind works, what they're made of, the elementals of them, if they're a demon or an angel. Now, these angels, if we think of it in the sense of an etheric, mystical thing, something that's up in the air and it's very light and floaty, and it's coming from the rays or corpuscles of the sun's amplified energetic qualities that we just can't see because they're out of the harmonic range that we normally see. What is happening during this revelation is that the condensation, the bringing together of one's true organic self will be easier to see. What's above gets brought down to what's here, and what's below gets brought up to here. So these people that we've always been confused about, are they good, are they bad, are they indifferent, it becomes a lot more easy. It becomes more clear to see that you can tell what someone's made of. You can access and understand through all of your senses more clearly, more precisely, what people are really about. And so it's taking the veil off. So a veil is the word evil, or to lift up the veil, to lift the evil. So to lift what's beneath up. And again, as I've spoke about in many, it doesn't mean bad or good, just as it just means where it's from and what it's really about. So we can put things in their places. It's like this idea of everything has a place and every place has a thing. And in cupboards, you put certain things in certain places, and you don't put inorganics in your body. You don't put certain elements in certain places. You take and so these places, you have places for things, and you know not to eat a computer. You know not to put certain things in certain places because of the volatile nature or the combustion or the inability for things to function within the space of something else. And it's becoming more and more clear. It's becoming more and more true. And by true, I just mean it's it's the the ability to see through non-murky waters. So what is beneath has been brought up to this level, and what's above has been brought down. So no longer will people walk around with a cloak on, because what a cloak is a clock, meaning they have time to consider their plans of good or evil, whatever it might be. They have a clock, which is a sea lock or a sea lock, to lock something to the sea, to lock something to water. And when you get rid of the cloak and when you get rid of the clock, time doesn't exist anymore. But that's not to say that things don't occur. That's not to say, it's to say that the idea that we have of a linear fashion of reality starts to dissipate. But you'll notice that what things are as they are. It is as it is. So people can't disguise who they are and what they're made of. And that's not good or bad. It's just you will see the fruits of people's hearts. You'll see the fruits of their minds. And it'll become easier and easier to see. So this is a process of distillation. It's a process of uh, observing spirit. And there are no bad spirits. Let's remember this. Everything comes from the soul. The soul isn't bad. It's just a collection of everything. And there are spirits that don't work properly with each other because they're, let's use it in the terms of alcohol, because alcohols are called spirits. And some people say, I can't drink that. I can't drink the dark liquor. Well, most people have a problem with liquor because it hasn't been distilled properly, and it has left in it a bunch of salts. It has left in it a bunch of inorganic and materials that you shouldn't put in your body. And that's what's not functioning well with the person. Not only are there physical things in there, but there's literal magical incantations, there's magical words and spells, and there's these symbols that are on there that are literally just the same way Masaru Emoto talked about the rice experiment, that you could put an intention into rice, you could put an intention into water, you can label that water, you can label that, and it will take on the constitution of the label and the thought forms. So alcohol would be no different, and in fact it would probably be more, how would you say, susceptible to such ideas. So when all of these things are labeled and you have people around it that are putting energy into that, well, certainly different types of reactions will happen. That's why anybody can drink different types of liquor. And you say, oh, it's all just alcohol. But clearly it's not. Clearly it's all very different. It has very different effects on people. Now, when we look at this in terms of what we are as a spirit ourselves, and we look at the idea of cutting things, cutting a diamond is a demon, and a demon is a daemon. So this diamond is the same thing as coal. A diamond is the same thing as glass, but it's organized. Just like crystal. It's the organizational matrix of what is the underlying structure. That's why if you hit a piece of glass with a rock, it shatters everywhere. But if you are hitting something that is more organized, it will shatter in a specific way along the pathways, along the guides of the structure. As the glass has no real structure, you can see through it. But we make this diamond out of the same thing that we see as dark charcoal, and we can burn it and make a fire. And we use that same fire to heat up something to turn it into what is a diamond. We cut the diamond so it reflects and refracts the light to certain angles. And when the angles again are angels, and those angels are rays of light, so that in the sense of monetarily. They're valuable in the sense of what they do. Now, if we can use a diamond to expose the same ideas that the diamond has been used to blind people, things change. So no longer will people that are, there's been a lot of people that are angelic spirits that have hid themselves because of what they may bring upon themselves, because they see that the world is manipulated and run by the least capable among us. But the times are quickly changing, and by changing I mean time is becoming non-existent. So no longer can things be used in the way they were before. So that now, what is a demon will be seen as such, and what is an angelic creature will be seen as such. This has to do with the mist, the mystery, the mystical, and the mist that you see outside. It's all about water and being able to disguise something. Well, some things are disguised so that you do not see the hidden, occulted world, and they're hiding it for a nefarious reason. But sometimes things are hidden because what's underneath is literally the egg, the thing that was being planted, the seed, the thing that was being saved, the thing that was being held on to so no one would see it, so they wouldn't destroy it or take it. Now these mysteries, these mists, these water-based systems that have cloaked things or clocked things that gave time to allow something to come to fruition, they're going away. The mist is going away. The mystery is going away. The veil or the evil is being lifted. And also, so it all is out in front. The 52 cards come out all flipped over, and you know how the deck works. Now you know how the tarot works. Now you know how the Torah works. Now you know how the language works. Now you see the tricks and the spells and the spell casters and the liars and the deceivers and the truth tellers. You see all of these things quite clearly now, because the mist is being removed. The mast is being put up to pull the ship along, so that we can see, as you distill something more and more, it becomes cleaner and more pure, and it becomes like jet fuel. So what we're really looking at here is a time or what is outside of time that we can view things from for exactly what they are, exactly what they're worth, what their value is, their true value. And some things value, just like if you go into the organic world that has not been pulled out of its feral nature, you look into the animal kingdom and you see that the use of a rhino is what a rhino does. It can't disguise itself. It doesn't try to be a monkey. It doesn't try to climb a tree. It does what it does. It has no mask. And that's where we are quickly coming to with humans, that the people that should be the least among us will be the least among us. And it's not a sentence. It's not a how to put it. It's not something bad. It's the people will be put where they should be, so that they can observe, evaluate, and learn their lessons. Because what's occurred for a very long time now is people have used a false leverage system through fiat currency, money, magic, philosophy, psychology, manipulation, black occult arts, and they've used it to throw salts, physical salts, trigger points, physical and mental, emotional and spiritual, into people to cause people to become slaves, when the slaves were really the kings, and the kings were really should be the slaves, meaning that their minds aren't good enough to control the population of people that are kings and queens and gods and goddesses. and everything was flipped, turned upside down, and I'll tell you how I became the Fresh Prince of Baal heir. He was an heir to Baal, an heir to the world. The spun around, spun up in a web, spinning globe lie. But he controlled that by flipping it upside down. He took Hanuman, or what you can do, and this is an internal thing as well as an external thing, of pulling Hanuman up to the great heights of where Brahma would be in your mind, and using Hanuman the way Hanuman should be used, rather than Hanuman using Brahman, rather than having the least among us with the least credibility, with the least truth, with the least amount of power. They will be where they need to be. They will be the ones cleaning things up because they are the ones that have been deceiving and lying. And they are the ones that need to go through whatever, if it still exists, their karmic worth. They've eaten of the things. Now they have to digest those things, and they have to shit those things out. They can't hold on to them forever. You can't swallow that hot iron ball. You can't, what are you going to throw it up? You're going to shit it out. It just sits there. And it's either going to consume them and they vanish as time won't allow them to exist anymore, or they'll be put into the place that they need to be put in. So that has something to do with the great revelation. And as we're talking about this during the holy days and the holidays and people that consume a lot of spirits, and I've talked to people at length about addiction before and what alcohol is, and going to places that people have addiction and being able to do what they do without being committed and addicted to the elements by having a sort of dominion over the elements rather than having the elements have a dominion over them. There's a big difference between these people during the holidays that will drink to participate in a spirit and to enliven, and there are some that do it to cope or to cloak something. So I suggest when everybody's around their family that everybody, you gotta have people that love their family, and a bunch of other people that are like, oh man, we gotta go hang out with the family. There's a way to use spirit to open up pathways in yourself to commune with other creatures, with other entities. And that's just a little side note on it. So have fun around these holidays and what you're doing with the familia and with whoever your friends and whatever you might be doing. But remember, this great awakening, this great revealing is literally clearing your eyeballs and your ears, and you'll things will taste different. Things will sound different. Things will look different. No longer will the girl with the makeup that covers up everything and smells of fake vanilla and longs for attention. No longer will that won't be cool anymore. That won't be the thing. No longer will the artificial world be set up on top of the natural, organic world. The real, true essence will come through. So hopefully during this holiday season, you can find your essence. Cheers, y'all.